Rocking Around the Clock and Move It On Over solo. All right, let's get into it. This little solo you can use for Rock Around the Clock and Move It On Over, and probably a bunch of other songs that are sort of like 12-bar blues type stuff. But this follows the melody line, vocal line, the melody line for both the songs, at least partially for Move It On Over. So if you look at the first part of the tab, it has the same 4 notes 3 times right there at the beginning, but they are played just a little differently. So even though they look exactly the same, there's a little bit more pause or syncopation and stuff like that. So keep that in mind when you're playing it. Try to keep the melody line or the vocal line of Move It On Over in your brain when you're doing it. You can also sing it out. Obviously, there's different verses of Moving On Over and different verses in Rock Around the Clock. So different verses are going to have different syllables and stuff like that. So it might not be exactly what's in your head, but it should follow it pretty closely. So this 4, 7, 7, 5, that's the first 4 notes. So just like I've said in previous tutorials, look at the whole tablature first before you start picking it. And a lot of times people automatically put their pointer finger on whatever the first note is. Now, in this particular case, the 4th fret is the lowest fret that we are going to mess with here. So that actually works out, right? So we're going to do the 4th fret of the C string. Now, you can stretch your ring finger or use your pinky for the 7th fret of the C string, but that's the first 2 notes. I usually stretch my ring finger. Once we get done with the 4th fret, you'll see this in the rest of the tab. We do this, the 4th fret 3 times right here in this first section, and we never go back to the 4th fret again. So basically, then your fingers are right here the whole time. So I usually stretch my ring finger there, and then once we're done with this first 3 little runs, the rest of it's going to be right here, and that sort of spaces it out to have your pointer finger on the 5th fret, your middle finger on the 6th fret, your ring finger on the 7th fret, and your pinky on the 8th fret. All right? But it doesn't have to be exactly like that. Whatever works for you. Whatever way you practice it is the way you're going to do it. And if it doesn't seem like it's working out, then try to use a different finger. But that's what I usually do. 4, 7, and then let me give you a better view. Let's see. I do like 4, 7, 7. So I'm just basically using my pointer finger for the 4th fret, using my ring finger for the 7th fret, the tip of it, but then I'm rocking it back and using the meat of it for the 7th fret of the E string. And then look, my middle finger is already right where it needs to be for the 5th fret of the A string. Just practice that. And if you're watching my right hand, I'm trying to alternate pick as I'm going. 4, 4, 7, 7, set 5. Go as slow as you need to. I'm just trying to play it up to speed so you can hear how it's supposed to go. But you can go 4, 7, 7, 5. Oops. Now, the difference is, it's ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-da-dum-bum, right? The second one is a little quicker. Ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-da-dum-bum. The third one is pretty close to the first one, except for it runs right into the 7th fret of the A string. Ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-dum-dum-dum, right? right, so just practice that first section. Pause the video, whatever you need to do, and just practice that over and over again. All right, for the second section, if you look at the tablature, it's the same 4 notes repeated 4 times. So it looks like on paper that it would be 4 sections of 4 notes, but it is actually 2 sections of 8 notes. Even though they're the same exact notes, they are played just a little bit differently. The first little section, first 4 notes is played a certain way, and then the second 4 notes is played a different way. And then you repeat that exactly for the third and fourth section. So get your fingers in place, and if you look at the tablature, you're gonna hit a 7 and a 5, right? 7 and a 5, and then you're gonna get an 8 there, but that next note is a 6. But if you get that pinky out of the way, it's like an E minor shape, right? But the 5th, 6th, and 7th fret. So for this section, you can actually leave all 3 of those fingers down and only put your pinky down on the 8th fret of the E string when you need it. So this might help out steadying your hand. But we're going 7, 5, 8, 6, right? 7th on the C string, 5th on the A string, and then put down your pinky, 8th fret on the E string, and then lift it up, and then hit the E string on the 6th fret. That's right. So that's the whole thing. You do that twice, but the second time it has a different little feel to it, syncopation. All right, the last note rings out. Bum, 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 bum. And I guess you guys probably couldn't see my plucking hand, but I was actually using 3 fingers. I know I was telling you to alternate pick. For whatever reason, I started doing the thumb on the 7th string and then alternate picking with my pointer and middle on the other 2 strings. But it's whatever works for you, whatever you got going on. Like I said, as long as you're using more than 1 finger. If you're doing the whole thing with your pointer finger, the whole thing with your thumb, it might be easier right now, but as you're doing more complex stuff, it'll get easier if you can get these fingers working independently. All right, so 7, 5, 8, 6, 7, 5, 8, 6. That's in pretty close to real time there. And then you just repeat that for the second half. Oh, wrong one. All right. So that's how that part sounds. So pause it, go as slow as you need to. Pause. All right. Let that last note, that last 6, the second 6 and the 4th 6 ring out. All right. Try not to lift up your finger. That'll mute it. Or if you put your fingers down on your right hand, that'll mute it as well. Let that last note ring out. Now, here's the deal. Here's the third section. The third section is the same exact notes, except for they're going to get mixed up a tad. But guess what? You can leave this E minor shape down and only put your pinky down when you need it on the 8th fret of the E string, right? It is different, so your muscle memory might fight you at first or whatever, but you're going to start with the 7th fret, and then you're going to put your pinky down on the 8th fret for 2 beats, and then 8, 8, 6, 8, and then 5, and then 7, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7. Well, now lot of that, I just left my pinky down because you only lift it up for that 1/6 in this last section. So you can just leave your pinky down. Let those notes ring out a little bit. All right. So that's the sound of that first half of that. 7, 8, 8, 6, 8, 5. Pause a little bit. 7, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7. Right? Yeah, so just pause the video and work on that section. And then once you get comfortable, go back and review the first section. And then review the second section, review the third, and then see if you can start piecing it together. Just remember that first section, you're going to actually use your pointer finger on the 4th fret, but the second section and the third section, you're just going to plant it on the 5th fret of the A string and make an E minor shape, and then that's it. But the first section is stretching from the 4th fret to the 8th fret, right? You get the 8th fret one time on the A string, all right? So just try to do that. Right? And then shift to the E minor shape, right? And then you stay right there, pause just a second, and then now we're going to the third section. All right? So just do that over and over again. Go as slow as you need to. Get that flow down. Don't plow through it. You'll end up losing the melody, right? Just because you're hitting the notes doesn't mean you're doing the melody correct, right? You want to make sure that you're following the melody line or the vocal line of Rock Around the Clock. That first section, you can use it. Well, you can use the whole thing for both songs, like I said, because it will fit. It's a 12-bar blues. It's all in the same key. All of those notes will work. Even if you mess up and you hit one of the wrong notes, as long as it's one of the other notes that is in this key. You heard me mess up a couple of times. I just hit a 6 instead of a 7 or an 8 or whatever. It was in the right key. Your ear might be like, hey, that's not the right melody, but it was still in the right key. I wasn't hitting any incorrect notes. I was just hitting them in the different order. But that's also another way of you to sort of figure out how to solo by yourself, is if you can start to visualize where all these notes are in this key, you can be like, oh, okay, I saw that we had the 4th fret here, the 7th fret, the 7th fret there, the 5th fret, the 6th fret there, the 7th fret there, and the 8th fret there. That's a lot of notes to start with. Now, there are more that will work in this key, in this area, but you already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 notes to work with. That's all we're hitting. Oh, actually, we did the 8th fret of the A string. So I guess we did the 7th fret too. So eight notes, I guess. But that's like a great head start. You can figure out any song, 12-bar blues that's in this key, in the key of G. You could use all of those notes in any different order and just figure out what sounds good, right? Slower, faster, pauses. Sometimes you could use double stops, using 2 notes at the same time. You could strum all 3 of those. It's not really an E minor anymore. Let's see what it is. You got E minor, F minor, F sharp minor, and then that's a G minor. So there you go. And it sounds nice. And I think, yeah, that open G string works with a G minor, so that totally works. Not all the time, so if you switch the key, you hear that dissonance, that wouldn't work, but for that G minor chord, it totally works, that open G. So that's another thing you could do to sort of start visualizing what notes you're hitting, and then in other songs that are in the key of G, when someone's like, take a solo or do something, just hit all those notes. The other thing you can do is look up on YouTube, backing track in the key of G. And it'll have all different types of music. You just sort of slow rock, funk, jazz, heavy metal, all sorts of stuff. Slow jam, whatever. I recommend doing some sort of a slow ballad thing, and that'll help your brain think about what notes you're hitting, give you a chance to get to the notes that you're hitting. And all you have to do is let the track play and just visualize where everything is. You don't need to look at the paper. You don't need to, you might want to look at the paper just to, oh, what notes can I hit? What frets can I hit on what string? Once you can do it and visualize it on there, then you can you can start putting them in a different order and just see what happens. Sometimes you might feel like it sounds better in one order or another, or one different pause and different pause, but it's up to you. Just figure it out. So that's really the whole thing, rock around the clock solo. But like I said, you can use this solo for 12 bar blues in the key of G, whether it's faster or slower or whatever. But so there you go. So just try to piece it all together. Let's try to piece it all together one last time before we go. So remember, we got our pointer finger up on the 4th fret of the C string, and then, right? That's where we're starting. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then I switched it. Right? And that's the whole shebang. So just take your time, mess with it, keep going with it, and have some fun. If you have somebody to play along with, you can have them play the chords to the song, 12 bar blues in the key of G. They'll be on the song sheet for the Patreon members. And then, but you don't even need my sheet. You can just look for 12 bar blues in the key of G. I'll put myself out of a job. But anyways, and just try to do that. You could probably find that on YouTube. Just say backing track 12 bar blues in G, and practice doing that solo over it. It'll totally work. It might be a little faster, a little slower than what you normally would play this particular song. Slower the better to get used to it. All right. So great job. Have fun. And we'll see you next time.